Previously on Restoration, an investigation turned up the name of the mole inside AppTap, but not his motivations. Chaz and Viernan had discussions with the administrant about the boy with very different takeaways. Can the team find out more as the midsummer meeting with Drake's mysterious patron rapidly approaches? You know, it's about 2 days to midsummer. So you're probably getting prepared because you don't know exactly where this is going to lead you or how long it might take. I think you're probably going to go check out the Golden Oak Tavern quickly just to see if there's anything there. And then you would go through it afterwards. But you tell me.
Yeah, I feel like that's the logical next step on our investigating quest, so yeah.
Okay. So, Chaz, what I will say you were able to do is you have worked with the artificers who developed the bracers. You know that they're all kind of tuned the same way. Some of them are a little bit more individual than others, but they're all basically keyed the same way, and due to the nature of the emergency recall setting, they all have to be tuned to something at AppTap. So you managed to kind of reverse engineer some of the signal for Alaric's bracer.
Excellent.
And when you get closer to the Golden Oak Tavern, you'll be able to roll to see if that was, in fact, the last one that he's gone through.
Okay.
You guys get ready and you gather up some stuff. Gwen, I'm assuming you tell your summer class professors that, hey, I might need to take a day or two. But I don't think you're in any active classes. That's why you had a job.
Yeah, exactly. I go to Professor Albright's office and I'm just want you to know that I'll be out for a couple days. So just like in case you're like wondering, well.
No, he doesn't go good quite that enthusiastically, but you do hear like his TA go, thank God.
I just politely ignore it because I know TAs are mean and it's not Professor Albright's fault that his TA is such a jerk.
Excellent. I'm assuming you also write to your dad and just let him know, hey, I'm going on a trip, I'll be back. Once you get those things, definitely use the keyword and
you can call me anytime you want.
So you guys head out and head back across the Moon Bridge. It is the easiest way across the river. And you head up toward the northwest portion of the city. The market is off to the east, and the Golden Oak Tavern is off towards the west. It's about 10-ish blocks off of the market, towards the mid-side of the city. The city is still resplendent. The closer that you get to the northern part of the city, the more intertwined the city is with the trees around. And the Golden Oak is a very well-known inn, and it is named for the massive, massive oak tree that grows up through the middle of the tavern.
Oh, shocking.
Very elfy.
Exactly.
Cool.
Very, very elfy.
You know, it's absolutely gorgeous and just totally elven. A dwarf would be horrified. Like, but yeah. So Chaz, you are probably making a investigation or using the detect portal function, I assume.
Exactly. I was going to say, if I have done the reverse engineering, then yeah, that's what I'll be focusing on.
Okay. So mark off 1 charge of detect portal. It's like detect magic, so it's a detect portal.
Oh, okay.
So just tell me, like, describe where you're looking for it. Like, I'm assuming outside.
Yeah. Chaz, yeah, definitely like outside as they approach. He's like trying to see if it's like embedded in the oak tree itself or if it's like hidden as part of the forest. And he's like, okay, if I were a portal, where would I hide it?
You get the sense it's actually in a courtyard that's kind of off and to the side. So there's like a little area around the back that seems a little quieter, less off the main road.
Okay. Yeah, Chaz is like, looks like it's pointing us that way.
You don't find a portal there anymore, but there is residual energy that indicates that one was maybe opened and closed quickly, the past couple of days. And you think that you would be able to open it again.
That sounds very fun and safe. Yeah, I feel like after he stops and sort of like assesses the situation and like feels that residual energy, he's like, all right, well, options. We have options. Who is in favor of opening a portal right here, right now?
In broad daylight?
No hands are raised.
Exactly. He looks around, sees no hands, he's like, good. I'm so glad that some of you are intelligent. Great.
I don't like the idea of losing that much time. I mean, it would lose us another whole day, but there's just still people around.
Could we use the authority of APTAP to clear the area?
Possibly. Innkeeper probably won't be very happy.
We should definitely get a drink first.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go have a drink and then try to get the innkeeper to get rid of all his paying customers for an hour or so.
I'm going to sleuth around once we're in there. It's fine.
All right, so how are you going to convince him? Do you want V to do the talking, or what's the plan here?
Sarathiel has great charisma.
That's hilarious. I mean, it makes sense.
It's actually his best stat. He has more charisma than strength.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
His method of, like, convincing someone will just be to, like, ask nicely and, like, rely on his good looks.
And it usually works, yep.
And it usually works.
I mean, that does sound entertaining, you have to admit.
Yeah, so I'd say, like, let Viernan or maybe, like, Chaz, like, ask the questions, and then, like, let Sarathiel persuade.
There we go.
Be like, can you close off this courtyard, pretty please?
Right, bat his eyelashes real nice.
All right, who's taking point? And so I guess Viernan heads over toward where the innkeeper is and gets his attention after he finishes taking care of one of the other patrons. And he says, excuse me, sir, we've got some official APTAP business and got a question or two for you. And the innkeeper goes, APTAP again?
I know, we're just the worst.
I know.
We're terrible.
What is it now? Well, we think someone used the portal that was out back of your inn a couple nights ago. We wondered if you had seen anything. And the guy goes, no, that group came over and they took care of it. And it had been totally fine. We didn't even have, I lost a chicken out the back, but other than that, that was just wandering off.
I love the idea of a chicken wandering through a portal.
Chaz is like, could you elaborate? What group exactly came?
That APTAP task force.
Mm-hmm. Who was? Can you describe the members?
I didn't get their names. They said they were APTAP and they took care of the portal. What more do you want me to tell you?
Their heights? Their eye color? Like anything, man.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how fuckable were they?
Chaz is more like, did you have eyes, right? You could tell, like you saw what they looked like, right?
He's like, I've got customers. You see that, right? Look, I don't know. It was a while ago. They were in uniform, like you guys are, and you flashed the same badge that guy did, and he gestures to Viernan.
Chaz is just like, kind of annoyed that this guy can't describe people he's seen. He's like, all right.
He's an innkeeper. Do you know how many people he sees in a day?
Chaz is like, have you tried having a photographic memory? It might help.
Wow, you're an asshole.
Dick.
I feel like at this point, Sarathiel gently inserts himself to the conversation. Like, he has been used as a method of persuasion before. He doesn't understand why it works or how it works. His charisma definitely comes from, like, the effortlessly of just being pretty.
Right.
So he kind of, like, inserts himself in front of Chazmir, and he, like, leans over the bar, and he smiles at the innkeeper, and he says, "Good morning, sir."
He definitely looks at you more pleasantly than at Chaz. Oh, good morning.
Would you mind very much if I asked of you a favor?
What would that be?
Just for a few hours, we need the courtyard out to the west cleared.
Why do you need that courtyard again? I mean, that's where that...
Standard safety procedure. That's about as good as he can come up with a lie. I can roll persuasion if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey,
Oh,
damn!
Jesus.
Oh boy.
You know, initially he's just kind of like, oh, come on, seriously? But your smile wins him over a lot more than Chaz's, well, why don't you just get yourself a, photographic memory? So he reluctantly agrees, as long as it's not the entire inn or anything, as long as it's just that courtyard, he figures he can keep people away.
Yes, that is it precisely. Thank you for your cooperation.
Chaz just, like, shakes his head and, like, looks at Gwen like, every time, I can't believe it works.
There's saying you catch more flies with honey.
You're not an asshole to someone? Imagine.
He's like, imagine not just remembering people. It's so infuriating.
Not all of us have photographic memories, Chaz. It's not a character flaw.
And then as soon as he gets the okay, he turns around and he says, "All right, shall we?"
Yep. So we head out to the back, so he ushers everybody that was out in the courtyard back inside, saying something, apt, whatever. And I guess you open the portal.
Oh boy. I don't think I've ever done this before. This is very exciting.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah, you've definitely never been through a portal before. It lets out into a similar courtyard. It looks like it's in a small village, and there doesn't seem to be too many people around. Viernan does the usual check of just, like, cautiously poking your head through, see if anybody's around, check with a mirror, that kind of dealy, and then slips through. Go ahead and roll a con save.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Oh, we're not doing so good.
Well.
Gwen, this one's a lot more tingly than the last one you went through. Like, your fingers go numb as you walk through. Like, it just feels weird. You're still able to walk. You're not dizzy. You don't throw up or anything, but it's just, like, really unpleasant.
Interesting.
Sarathiel, your tongue goes numb as well as your fingers and toes.
Oh, no. I hate it.
It doesn't last very long, but it's just unpleasant. I guess I should roll for Viernan, too.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
He's having a bad day.
Yeah, no, he's quite ill after that. It's presumably from, like, sticking his head through, coming back, and then going through again.
Oh, yeah, that makes
we'll
sense.
say that's why.
Sarathiel very gently, like, rubs circles on his back, like, "You alright, Vannon?"
I'll be fine. Oh, God.
Chaz, too, is like, ooh, that one did a number on you this time.
Okay. And he straightens up and just takes a couple deep breaths, just like, okay, all right, where are we at?
Good question. What do we see?
So you are on the outskirts of a little village. It did displace you in time, but it's in the same, like, part of the season. This is about a century ago.
Okay, and I assume Chaz's wristlet would tell us that, right?
Yeah.
Same type of year, but a century ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I roll a perception check, see if anything unusual stands out?
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, damn.
God damn with the rolls today, Sarathiel.
Yep. So you are in a... It's not, like, all the way in the mountains, but it's in the mountains, kind of the foothills. And this seems to be, like, one of the villages along the road to somewhere else kind of place. It doesn't seem like it's a big tourist destination or anything. But if you head into town, you'd probably be able to do something better with some of those rolls.
Okie doke. Sounds good.
Sarathiel will take initiative if no one else does. He heads off toward the village.
Yep.
It's the only thing around that looks like anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so you very quickly find a You find a tavern there, probably a good source of information. Maybe this tavern keeper will be nicer if you let Sarathiel approach first.
Chaz will
Excuse
not.
me, sir. Break out your photographic memory.
Right. Chaz is like, I don't think I will.
You see a tavern that looks like it'll probably be a good place to find information. I think you see a sign outside that says the name of the village is Marin. And when you find that, Viernan is going, Marin, why do I know that name?
I don't know. Why do you know that name?
You have lots of siblings. Could it be related to any of them?
I mean, maybe.
Probably.
I'm sure it'll come back to me.
Just, oh, by the way, why do you have so many siblings again?
Rude?
It's a question.
You can't just ask an elf why they have siblings, Chazmir.
My parents love each other and love kids, and we love our siblings?
Chaz is like, no, listen, it's not a rude question because I don't know any other elf that has a big as family as you do. I just want to know, like, the reasoning? I mean, sure, love, yes, that's fine.
I guess.
If you believe in that sort of thing, fine, whatever.
What do you mean? You don't believe in love?
Answer the question, Viernan.
Look, it's... Ugh. I don't want to talk about this.
Oh, good, neither do I. Let's continue.
You get the feeling from Viernan, he's actually legitimately pissed at you pushing this.
And because Viernan is pissed, now Sarathiel's pissed at you too.
Great.
He doesn't understand why. It's just like, it's like, just a basic empathy thing. Like, you upset my Viernan, and now I don't like you.
Chaz just, like, puts his hands in the air like, great, all right, fine, if you're all going to be like that.
You're the one who brought it up. Ugh. Let's just do our job.
Exactly, we have things to do.
Off to a great start. Anyway, so I guess you guys head into the tavern to try to get some more information?
Definitely.
All right. You head in, and it's a little later in the day in this village than it had been in the other. The tavern is much more populous than the other inn had been for its population, and there's not too many empty tables around.
Sarathiel looks at the others and says, "You want me to talk to the bartender again?"
Sure. It worked last time.
Do we want to talk to anybody else? Do we want to look around?
Well, Sarathiel is talking to innkeep, barkeep, yeah. Definitely want to...
Yeah, let Sarathiel do the talking, let Chazmir do the thinking.
Yeah.
Like the looking.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good distribution of labor.
Relatively speaking. Viernan will remind you, as you guys head over toward the innkeeper, that just saying that we're apt-tap probably won't fly. We probably shouldn't bandy that around here, since we're in a different time and a different area.
Mm.
In Silvery Moon, yeah, sure, that will work, but out here, not necessarily.
Sarathiel says, "All right, what do you want me to ask him?"
Let's just see if they noticed any strangers that came into town recently.
Besides us?
Yes, besides us, obviously. We can say maybe that we were part of a traveling party and we got separated from them.
Okay.
All right, so Viernan and Sarathiel head up to do that. What are Chaz and Gwen doing while we do that?
Oh, Chaz is definitely going to turn to Gwen and be like, so, do you have any interest in history, Gwen?
Well, I like to read a lot, so kind of?
Kind of. We are 1 century in the past. What would you ask? Anybody, anything.
People in the past?
Yes, isn't it exciting? You can ask them anything. Isn't that fascinating?
Are we supposed to interact with people? I swear we read a booklet that said that you're supposed to minimize your interaction with the locals.
Oh god, you actually read the manual.
Oh no. Yeah. It's the worst kind of person.
Right, Chaz is actually like taking it back like, you actually read the manual.
We were supposed to read all of it. Did you not read the manual?
I memorized the manual, Gwynedd, but you...
Oh, good. Well, you had me really worried there. He, pats your arm.
Now Chaz is like, wait, no. Normally people don't read or memorize anything. Why did
I read
you?
all of the manual. That's just what you're supposed to do, Chazmir. They told me to read the manual, so I read the manual.
Okay, Amber, I know you wanted him to be chaotic good, but this is lawful good behavior right here.
Right, exactly. Chaz interrupts all right, but don't pick up that thing that Sarathiel does. It's Chaz. It's 4 letters. It's not hard.
Well, I'm not supposed to say your full... Okay.
Chaz is like, well, yes, it is true. The manual did say that. But if we just choose one person, it'll be fine. And just, simple, innocent questions like, what is your life like? Don't you want to know about this time?
Talking to strangers is possibly the most terrifying thing you could possibly ask of me, but I would like to follow along while you talk to strangers.
Oh, all right. That's fine. I will try not to get us in too much trouble. Mostly I just want to do some sleuthing. Well, Sarathiel and V are doing their whatever. He wants to at least, ask about rumors specifically. What should I roll for that?
Perception to find somebody that looks like they might talk with you.
Perfect.
So, Chaz, you notice that eyes have definitely been following you since you all stepped into the tavern. People are looking a little wary. Not just of you, specifically. It's not just racism. They are regarding the entire party a little suspiciously.
Mm-hmm. If it's a small town, that makes sense.
So you find somebody that you think you might be able to approach.
Yeah, Chaz looks around and sees the eyes following not just him but the party. He's like, all right, and notices someone. I guess where would they be, in the corner?
Yeah, they're off to the side, kind of near the bar. Not hidden in the back or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, and he approaches this.
There's a pair of humans sitting at the table.
Okay, so he approaches, I guess, that pair of humans and is like, pardon me, sorry to interrupt your lovely time. It seems that we have arrived before our companions, and we're wondering if you could help us.
One of the two humans just kind of looks up from their beer and kind of does a once-over of you.
Chaz just grins in response.
Like a drow looking for their companions. Okay.
Same sus.
Yeah. And, looking beyond you at the half-elf, nervous, squirrely little guy behind you. Afraid not, friend.
Haven't seen anybody as interesting or strange as us lately?
You are definitely the most interesting thing I've seen this month.
Possibly the most interesting thing you'll see in your whole life. He winks.
You might want to move on.
From here specifically, or this entire village?
Both.
Okay, got it. Noted. Let's go, Gwen.
No, I would like to know what the strange man has to say. I sit down at the table.
Trust me, pretty boy, you don't.
I think he said he's done. Let's go now.
But it's very curious, don't you think?
It is very curious.
Gwen totally does not notice that the stranger has, his hand on his knife hilt,
Why do you want us to leave?
Jess just, puts an arm around Gwen and is like, okay, I think now is a good time to teach you. Sometimes it's okay to be curious and not find the answer. Let's go somewhere else.
Okay, well, it was nice to meet you.
All right, let's pan back over to Sarathiel and Vernon.
Sarathiel is going to follow directions.
Okay.
So he's going to turn on that winning smile.
Okay.
And lean over the bar, hands folded on the body. He says, "Good. What is it? Afternoon, morning here?
It's about afternoon."
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Or ma'am. Is it? Who's the bartender?
Hello, bartender.
The bartender is an aggrieved-looking woman. Or at least that's who's tending bar at the moment. It's not necessarily the innkeeper.
Good afternoon, barkeep. May I have a moment of your time?
Lucas, can you deal with this?
Okay, who's Lucas?
The innkeeper comes over instead of the bartender who's just trying to juggle 4 drinks at one time and handle food orders. Just no.
Okay, Sarathiel's adaptable. So he returns his attention to the tavern keeper. He says, "Good afternoon. I was recently trying to recall desperately what Vernon literally just said because 6 int. He says, we were recently separated from our party. We are looking for them. Have any strangers recently come into the area?"
The man smiles. He's a older man, dark-skinned, and kind of a worn face, but still smiling, and seems a little bit more open than the rest of the people in the inn. Well, you've been a few strangers through, but not lately.
How recently are we talking?
Well, I don't know. We've been having some issues with the roads lately, but and you don't get this, but Viernan gets the sense that this guy is kind of like, I'm not just going to tell you you're strangers, you're not really part of here. Like, yeah, I'm not going to throw you out because you might give me some coin, but, you might need to do something for me rather than just get information.
Yeah, so it feels like he does not get that at all. Yeah. He says, oh, okay. What sort of problems with the roads? Woo, right over his head.
Viernan just kind of gently puts a hand on your elbow, just like in a, hey, back off. Let me do this one now.
Okay.
Well, we would love to be of assistance. Is there anything specific that's been happening along the road? Anything that we could help you out with? You'll see that, my companion and I have training, and gestures to Sarathiel's swords and such. You do kind of stand out.
He catches fire, he says about the sword.
Oh no.
The innkeeper's just kind of like, good for you.
The innkeeper slowly realizing that, 18 charisma, 6 int.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, if you can wait a few minutes, I'll get you some information about that, and we would love to order some food and a couple beers if it's not a trouble. And after that, he's a little bit more amenable.
Man, it's a good thing your int's here.
Yeah, it's a good thing your int is here. Yeah.
Sarathiel's like, I'm not hungry, and then Bearden elbows him like, ow. I mean, I am hungry and thirsty. Yes.
Chaz dunks down at the table too, like, all right, how'd it go?
Not great, but, we might be able to get something out of him. I don't know. They said something about trouble along the road, which is not good.
We're getting a quest in a bar. Love that.
This is very nice.
I love it.
That's classic D&D.
Right? Love that.
So they do come over and give you some food. It's very simple fare. It's some kind of stew and some fresh bread, and the beer's marginal, but Gwen doesn't know that.
Nope.
Gwen has never drank anything in his entire life.
I've never had any beer. This is my first beer.
How's that drink there, old sport?
I don't think I'm supposed to have this, but also very good.
I think it's fine if you do.
So, after everything kind of quiets down and some of the people have been staring at you, head out, either up to a room or back out into the village for the night, or, to do other things during the rest of the day. He comes over when it's a little quieter, before the dinner rush. Well, are you sure that you are looking for monster hunting type work? Like, it doesn't seem the kind of thing that, no offense, and he's kind of looking at Chaz and Gwen you sure these guys are up to this?
Sarathiel flashes his winningest smile. He says, oh, we are always eager to assist.
Exactly what he said.
I mean, that's not a lie.
Right.
Sarathiel is very eager to assist. He's like a puppy.
No, it's true. I love it. Well, you're next, I guess. It's, we've been having trouble along the mining road up toward Vermilion. And everybody that cares to can make a history check.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're nope, no thanks.
Nope.
I will. Oh, motherfucker.
My favorite boy.
Teacher's pet. Like it's nobody's business.
Right? I love that. Little nerd.
Quick, recite the entire history of Vermilion.
Oh, I will. Just wait. But first, DM, what's the entire history of Vermilion?
All right, so we actually tied on ours, so that's hilarious. So Viernan is about to launch into an explanation of, oh man, I remember about this from a book that my sister was telling me about that she read at Candlekeep, when Gwen all of a sudden
jumps on the conversation.
Yeah. I heard about this. There's a book.
So I legit cut Vernon off in the middle of his sentence. And I'm like,
oh, my sister saw Rain
excuse
in
me. And I put my hands down and I say, there's a book called A Deep and Creeping
Darkness.
Shh, Vernon.
Chaz is delighted by this.
Vernon shushes.
And I turn to Sarathiel and Chaz, and I wave my hands in the air, and I'm like, imagine a mountain village where the residents went missing over the course of several months. This is in a mining town. Can you imagine how cool this is? The village was prosperous, and then turn around and there was an explosion in the mine, and people just started disappearing. This is one of the best stories I ever read, guys.
Interesting.
Wait, is that that's here?
Story. It's actually true.
What?
Yeah.
It's true. Oh, well, I guess it has to be.
Yeah, it's a history, Gwen. Jeez.
Okay, but it's a very good story.
It's kind of horrifying too. So it's it was an expedition to try to find what happened in the city, and they didn't find anything. But luckily, the innkeeper does not seem at all upset about any of this, and actually looks like he knew it all. Yeah,
Like he was about to explain it to us until certain parties who shall remain nameless.
It's unfortunately, you're right. My wife died in the disaster.
Oh, shit.
Immediately, Sarathiel's like, I'm so sorry for your loss, sir.
Thank you.
And Chaz is like, that's rough, buddy.
Jesus. I left before the disappearances started. She died in the explosion. But the book is true enough. I have a rough map if you're really willing to go there. But would you do a favor for me?
Of course. He says without consulting the others.
Right, name it. Absolutely.
Would you place some flowers on her grave? And
Oh, it's this kind of quest.
there's also there's a necklace in the hollow of a tree in the center of the village. If you could get that back for me, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course. And legitimately, those are two identical quests that are in Dragon Age Inquisition.
I know,
Just two
right?
identical
I was
quests.
just thinking that. I was like, those are literally from DII. Holy shit.
It's probably a coincidence because they're very generic.
Right.
Yeah,
It's very fun.
That's like a very generic thing. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
putting flowers on a grave, yes, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Don't summon a demon by mistake. It's fine.
But yeah, Sarathiel with complete, just absolute empathy. She's like, of course, we're happy to assist.
I would greatly appreciate that. And maybe when you get back, we can talk some more about those other members of your party that are missing.
Certainly. Sarathiel will be like, so what sort of monsters can we expect?
Well, we don't know. Frankly, I left so long ago, and it's been 70 years now.
Well, don't you worry. We specialize in very interesting monsters, even unknown monsters.
Do we?
That's unsettling.
Do we do that? Do we have to?
Are you sure?
It's fine. Don't you love, grand magic? It's a time for you to shine.
I like it from a distance, so no.
Sarathiel claps you on the back. He's like, remember, just stand behind me.
Okay.
Indeed.
Aw. Well, the best bet you might have would be to check at the mayor's house. She was when I left. She was getting. She was looking into the mystery. Maybe she found something. I don't know.
I assume we're talking a spooky abandoned house that was once belonging to a mayor?
Oh, the entire village is abandoned, so yes.
Oh my god, it's Gold Crestwood. It's literally Gold Crest, sorry.
Shut up!
sorry.
Right, exactly. I was like, ooh, they're all mysterious. Great.
Do we have to drain a lake too?
Oh, God.
No.
This is so classic, just like adventure stuff, though.
Yeah,
Right.
it's classic adventure stuff. DII stole everything, yeah.
All right. Make me a perception check, guys.
All of us? Okay.
Yep.
Perception 4.
I'm thinking, do I want advantage on this? Lotus, do I need you? Sure. Why not?
Someone has to do better than us.
It makes sense that it's Chaz that notices, because you were the one that noticed in the first place that people are kind of staring at the group.
Indeed.
And so you definitely notice that there's still some people staring at you, and kind of like some of them are glaring daggers, like they just really are suspicious of strangers. Others seem a little bit curious, but aloof. And this isn't Silvery Moon. It's not very typical to have a lot of elves or half elves or anything, but it is a town or along a road, so it's possible they're just visiting or stopping in overnight. So you just notice a couple more humans and an elf or two that are definitely keeping an eye on you guys.
Right. Not suspicious at all.
Nope, not a bit. So the question is, do you want to start off, or are you going to spend the night?
I mean, Sarathiel will probably... Like, he is still mad at you, Chesimir, but also he is dumb and he's already forgotten that he's mad at you. So he'd probably, like, base it on your comfort because he knows how sunlight affects Drow. So he turns to you, Chaz, and he's like, would you like us to wait until nightfall? Would it be easier for you?
Chaz sort of, like, looks around and sort of, like, leans in. I don't know if that would be the best idea here.
That just goes straight over his head. Does not know what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
This entire time, we've been watched. They're watching not just me, but all of us.
Sarathiel says, that happens to me all the time. Why?
But not
unusual. I don't know.
Not in that way, though. He, like, pats you on the head, like, nope, not like that.
Never happens to me, so...
Oh.
It will someday, Gwen, don't worry.
Is this because of the mean guy at the table?
Something tells me the mean guy was not the only one.
Exactly. Chaz is like, oh, he was definitely one of them, but he's not the only one, that's for sure.
Sarathiel looks out over the crowd and says, all right, well, perhaps we should start on our way.
Alaric Drake hesitated with his hand on the door to the rented room. He hadn't left a lamp burning or asked the innkeeper to send up supper, but the light under the door tells him the room isn't empty anymore. He should just run. The papers were in the room, and he knew the person behind the door would have already found them. He still had his portal manipulator. He could run through all of time and space and keep on running. You know I'd find you, Drake. The voice sends a chill down his spine. When had he opened the door? When had he stepped into the room? I thought my letter was quite clear what would happen if you read these documents. Panic washes through the agent, but he can't move. You have the audacity to bring me incomplete files. What was the plan, Drake? Sell the artificing plans to a higher bidder? He opens his mouth to answer, but feels magic rifling around inside his head and wants to vomit instead. Sir, No more excuses. I'm in your head. It's revolting, by the way, and you're no more use to me. Hey everyone, Val here. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of Crit Fail Club, Restoration. If you can't wait to hear what happens next, check out our Discord server for episodes in pre-release, or to listen in live as we record. You can join us by going to bit.ly/CFCDiscord. For more information on the show, character biographies, and links to social media, head to our website, critfail.club or critfailclub.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. We don't advertise at all, so if you like what you hear, tell a friend who might also enjoy the show, post on social media about it, or leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Full episodes are available on our YouTube channel, bit.ly/CFC channel, or on other major podcast platforms. Thanks again for tuning in.